This crazy entitled mom is about to do something horrible to these guinea pigs. The person selling them is doing her best to protect them, but they are only one person. And when you think the fight is over, it's only just beginning. Happy birthday if today's your birthday, and on with the show. Some pertinent background information before our story begins. 2 days before this EM moment happened, I got a huge black eye. My eye looks like it went 15 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime. Needless to say, I'm not super pumped to have to walk around looking like Quasimodo in public, but I power through because I needed to pick up some sunglasses so that I could go out in public without being chased by an angry mob mistaking me for Frankenstein. Anyway, this brings us to our story. Alright, so I walk into the CVS earlier today to pick out some sunglasses big enough to cover my monstrosity. My saint of a roommate, the cause of this shiner, already tried once to get some sunglasses for me to try to hide my black eye, but because life seems to laugh at my misery, they wouldn't fit over the swelling. I'm wearing a hat really low to try and avoid the inevitable stares I will get, and quickly make my way over to the sunglasses rack to try to pick out some cheap ones I can wear until my eye looks a little less disgusting. I start looking at a couple of pairs and take off my hat to try them on, but as I do, I hear from behind me, "Ew!" I turn to my left to see some kid, probably about 10, cringing while looking at me. Now, normally, I don't get too embarrassed in public, no matter what I look like. Heck, I wear socks and slides a good portion of the time, but today, I'm not exactly looking to have anyone, regardless of their age, stare for more than a second or two at my messed up face. So he's staring at me and I look at him, well, half of him, for a second, mortified, and try to pick any pair that might allow me to leave my new life as a temporarily half-blind recluse. The kid walks up to me and says, "What happened to your eye? Did you get in a fight? Can you see at all? Hey, look, how many fingers am I holding up?" I try to ignore him as best I can, because he's just a kid, and kids are usually fascinated by the grotesque. Heck, he's just asking what everyone wants to know. I'm about to indulge the kid and answer a couple of his questions, but then he decides he wants the whole world to see my shiner. "Hey, did you see this guy's eye? Look at it! It's so gross! Hey mom, look at this guy's gross black eye." It's about time that I'm starting to get as ticked as I am embarrassed, and admittedly, I lost my temper a bit and whispered harshly, "Shut up, kid." Unfortunately, it was loud enough that both the kid and his mum could hear, and she absolutely lost it on me. "Don't you dare tell my kid to shut up. Who the heck do you think you are? I'm not surprised you got your butt kicked, and I'm glad it happened. You're lucky my husband isn't here, or he'd mess up your other eye." I respond, "Well, maybe if you taught your kid that it's rude to ask people about things they wouldn't want to talk about, I wouldn't have to." At this point, she is absolutely livid. "You have no right to tell me how to raise my child. How freaking dare you? Maybe if your parents raised you a little better, you wouldn't have gotten your butt kicked like a little fitch." Now, I would love to tell you that she was removed from the store while everyone clapped, like a lot of these stories end, but there's no happy ending today. With a couple other customers stopping to watch, I quickly left the store, absolutely mortified. She seemed to continue shopping, satisfied with the result of further enabling her kid. But worst of all, I didn't even get my freaking sunglasses. So first of all, just in case you were wondering, OP did answer in the comments that the reason he has a black eye is he was accidentally elbowed by a friend while playing basketball. Of course, people will naturally assume that it's some sort of fight, because that's what we always see in the media, right? Somebody gets in a fight and then they get a black eye. I wouldn't be surprised though if most black eyes happened from accidents like tripping or sports accidents. And yes, of course, like any situation, when someone looks a little different, people naturally want to stare. They're interested. But the polite thing to do, considering you don't know that person's circumstances, is to not draw attention to it if they don't want attention drawn to it. And clearly, if they're trying to hide it, they want you to leave them alone. This mother should be embarrassed that her kid is making a huge scene over it, instead of getting all defensive like, "You can't tell me how to raise my child." Sure, you can raise your child however you want, but everyone else has the right to criticize you if they think you're doing a bad job. So I have 2 guinea pigs, and although I will be breeding them, the female is too young, and these are not their babies. And it's clear because the babies are white and long hair, and my 2 are black short hair Traveler and a brown pumpkin short hair Peanut. So into the story. My friend's guinea pig got pregnant way too early and died because she was too young to have babies. So my friend gave me the babies so they could have a mother figure. Baby guinea pigs are born with fur, open eyes, and can eat whole food almost as soon as they are born. I am aware that one of my cages is a tad too small, but has a little shoebox nest that Peanut put the babies in like a nest. She immediately took to them, putting them in the nest, bringing them food, and cleaning them. After about 6 weeks of cuteness, I decided it was time to let them find a forever home. Pun intended. I was going to keep one, but I don't need any more. So I put up a flyer at your average grocery store corkboard, and all 3 were up for $10, all males. So the day after, I got a call from a nice lady, NL, saying that her small child should love one of the cavies, and we agreed she could come over on the next day to pick one out. So about an hour or so, I get another call from a woman, EM, saying she wanted all 3. So I said, well, we do have a potential buyer for one, but you could come over at the same time to figure something out, and she agrees. So the next day rolls around, and the NL comes first. Now I named the 3 Puff, Shrooms, and Cotton, and she loved the names. I also had the 2 lovebirds in a cage with a divider, which I used as an example to explain how big they got, how to hold them, etc., and she seemed to be interested in what I'm saying. And then, a huge screech. The EM peels into my driveway, leaving tire marks on my driveway. I have pine trees on one side of my driveway and ricochets off them, and almost hits the NL's car. Then this chubby, not fat, lady in a tube top, fishnet stockings and heels with awful makeup comes out and throws a lit cigarette on the lawn and has no mask, and sauntered up to us, exposed, belly jiggling, and says, "You the right person?" I explain that I have guinea pigs for sale. "That's what I said," she says, and lights another cig. "These are the ones for sale," I say, trying not to show my disgust from this lady's fat oozing out of her way too tight clothes. The NL ignores her and says she'd like Cotton, the softest one. I reach for the box of the pigs when the EM says that she wants them all, and I look at her and ask why she wants them. She basically says how her 15-year-old son wants to breed the brothers to each other and make money of the babies. They are brothers, they can't breed, and even if they could, they would be inbreds and die. EM doesn't care and rambles on. I lift Cotton out of the box and put him in a smaller box with some hay and hand the lady a small ziploc of basic food, and the EM says, "Yeah, I want that one." I say no, duh, and this overly upsets EM. She blows up asking why. I try to calm her down and lift up the 2 others. She settles as she sees the fluffiest and biggest of the babies in my hands. "Fine, those will do, but I want a discount of only $5 for both." I say no, I will not give her these ones because I will not permit her to try to make these 2 have babies. So she does the only reasonable thing and tries to grab the babies, and I flinch away. I was sitting, and this was not easy because she was over me quickly, trying to put them back and practically have to throw them to the bottom. The NL just wants out, so she hands me a wad of cash and says, "Keep the change," and runs to her car with her little girl, waiting in the passenger seat, and pieces out. I shove the money under me and put my arm over my box to protect them. She scoffs and says, "Ungrateful little crap," and kicks the box hard. It flies over the grass. One of the babies falls out of the box and it lands on him. I rush over to save him, and luckily he has no injuries, and the one who is still in the box is just a little shaken. I hear the familiar twang of the cage door opening to turn around to see her reaching in the cage to grab the big male. He speaks in pain as he jumps away, and I see a clump of his fur in her hands. I grab the babies, pushed her away, and pick up the huge cage to put it inside, the little inside room outside our house, and lock the door. She screams, hits the floor once, and I hear her peel out and watch her swerve down the road. Edit 1. I know an edit hours after the post, but hoo boy, do I have some news. She called the cops on me for animal abuse. The people showed up and informed me that she will be suing for damage of property because the side of her car was a little scratched up from her hitting my trees, which had no damage because they are troopers, and I have no idea what's happening. But I have no video, nothing. They know I'm not an animal abuser, small town, but I can't can't pay for her car. Isn't it just classic that an entitled parent would blame someone else for the very vice that they are guilty of? I only have to hope that she never gets her hands on any kind of pet, because goodness knows how long they're going to last. Recently I borrowed my brother's game card for Pokemon Sword, and I fell back in love with Pokemon. I was walking to my sport, and I was going to meet up with a friend right after, and as I was walking there, my coach emailed me to say he had to cancel, so I had two options: walk back home or wait in a park for my friend. I chose the latter and whipped out my Switch and waited for my friend. I was playing Pokemon, as mentioned before, and soon a kid walked up to me. I of course moved away because 1. Children suck, and 2. Global pandemic. He got the idea and didn't come any closer, but still talked to me. "Hi, what you playing?" "Oh, I'm playing Pokemon." Now, I might have to add here that I incredibly hate social interaction. I'm one of those people that has to take a couple minutes to gather enough confidence to talk to a store employee, so I was kind of stuttering my way through this interaction. "Oh, which game? I played Moon and Sun at my friend's house." "Oh, yeah, that's cool. My friend let me play on his game. Can you let me play on yours? Please, please, please." Now, I wish I could go back and say something else, because I think I was a little too harsh, but keep in mind, I am an antisocial jerk, and the kid was inching closer to me, and I was inching away. I'm not your friend." I guess this kid wasn't fazed by it, because he kept talking to me, and trying to get me to give him my Switch. I was frantically looking around for my friend, to see if he would come and save me. Well, he didn't come that minute, but he contacted me in a different way. "So can you just give me your Switch? I promise I'll give it back, I swear. If you don't give it to me, I'll call my mom." "Yeah, I don't know about Halloween theme plays." "Oh, what's that? Is that a Pokemon?" "No, I mean, it's my phone." "You have a phone? That's super cool. Whoa, I've never seen that Pokemon before." My friend texted me that he was at an exit to the park that he wanted to meet me at, and as for the Pokemon he hadn't seen before, he was referring to my old Curum X card that I have in my see-through phone case. "Oh, yeah, it's cool. I've gotta go, so..." "Okay, I'll just take the Switch and I'll give it back later." He reached for my Switch because I'm stupid and I didn't put it away when this kid walked up to me. Side note, this kid reminded me of the Kyle sketches from Studio C. I kind of blocked his hand and stopped being stupid and put my darn Switch away and got up to walk away, and the kid ran off. Uninterested in me anymore, or so I thought, I walked over to my friend and we decided to go to McDonald's all the way across the park. So we went on a walk all the way across the park, past where the kid talked to me, and when I realized we were walking in the same way the kid went, it was too late. "Is that him, honey?" "Yes, it is, mommy." I guess she thought it was my bro dude homeboy, because she grabbed his shoulder and turned him around forcefully. My friend is a lot more socially confident, so he said abruptly, "What the frick, lady?" "Oh, I'm sorry." Yeah, I said I'm sorry. Me. Darn you, the voice that needs to be nice deep inside of me. Even if the swear was deserved, I didn't even say it. I'm super mad that I apologized.
"Don't you dare say that. You need to give me my baby Switch right now."
What? What are you even talking about? Get lost, lady. She then went off on a think of the children Helen Lovejoy rant, and in the middle of it, my friend signaled for us to leave. So we turned around and she grabbed my bag, and I kinda snapped and threw her hand off my bag. Her kid started crying. She started screaming. Some bystanders tried to calm the situation down, while not getting too close because again, global pandemic. She started screaming that I attacked her for no reason and that I should be arrested, and a crowd of bystanders were calling her BS and were yelling for her to leave. And so she left, defeated, and my friend and I walked to McDonald's, me feeling like a jerk, him asking me who the heck that was. I feel like McDonald's is a great place to end an entitled parent story. You know, just have some cheap, yummy food, maybe treat yourself and have an ice cream. But the only problem is, I feel that's also the most likely place you're going to encounter a new entitled parent. So best of luck to you. I hope you get in there and out there with your food as soon as possible. Submit your story to be read on the channel at VoiceyHereStories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.